They say home is where the heart is. But where is the heart? Is a home a house? I grew up in the same house all my life. Youngest of 5, I'd watch my parents and my siblings navigating through the tiny building, absorbing their words and their mannerisms, picking up on how they ate their dinner, knife in the left hand or the right, shouting at the lady for picking the 1-penny box on Deal or No Deal because they knew better. Is a home the community you live in? I'd put my wheelies on and cruise around the block over and over, watching how my neighbour tuts at the overarching bushes growing like cancer that's been spotted too late, spreading through his garden like a virus infecting his tiny slice of Eden. But why should he cut them? He did it last time. I turn my head and I watch the battle-hardened children with scrapes on their knees and mud on their clothes sprint across the road like an army storming a beach. The parents watch on like lionesses, keeping a close eye on the future generation. The generation of change. I'd wheel to the shops. Hello, you. How's your mam? Tell her I'll pop in for a brew soon, and here's £2. Get yourself some sweets. Is a home the town you live in? I'd walk past the sign for Flint every day. It was routine. I could close my eyes and give a detailed description of that sign. Every inch down to the patch of rust on its corner. Summing up this town in all its parts. Not perfect, but stable and constant. Walking down the street, my eyes carefully follow the curb, searching for the manhole that helps me to find where the bus will stop. Impossible to know without a sign, but in this rundown town of regularity, the bus will stop here by this manhole, as it does every day, as if it is its anchor. This is where I'll wait. Is a home the people that surround you? Sitting on the bus which rattles through the streets and struggles up the emerald hills of this tiny part of Cymru, and then sail down moments after like a ship riding a wave. The driver drops me off at the top of my street when it's dark outside and tells me to get home safe. The other passengers smile as I make my way to my favourite seat and offer to pay for my ticket when I'm fumbling about in my bag trying to find my purse. This town and its people built me from the ground up, but they stopped when they reached the roof. I felt I had to leave because I knew my capacity for growth was far from finished, but I couldn't wake up every day and keep bumping my head. So I left this small town and headed for the big city. Is a home the country you live in? On a voyage to uncover my purpose in the city, but it's a daunting prospect. It's playing hide and seek in the abyss and you're not sure anyone's hiding to actually find. Familiar faces get you through, but the plan to see them stretches like a rubber band that never snaps. However, the tension still remains. It just exists inside your friendships now. I thought the only difference was going to be that there were no Welsh signs when I crossed the border. But so many things made me feel like a fish out of water. The buses were more frequent, but the driver doesn't wait for you to take your seat. He's had his fill of people who cram into his bus each day. Sharp turns followed by tumbles help him to the end of his shift. The people don't stop for a chat. Instead, paranoia is looming. A moment of eye contact and they turn away as though they never looked at you at all, whispering and murmuring at the slightest change in their routine. You say good morning, and an echo can be heard down the carriage which is at full capacity. An echo shouldn't exist here, but I welcome it. I feel less alone when it turns down the silence. Hello, echo. I'm in this place that is brimming with opportunity and full of people, so why does it feel like an empty vessel? I wonder if anyone else feels the same way, but it's impossible to know when the search for human connection is like an attempt to reach the summit of a mountain. You step over people who have been left behind in the cold, and you know that they're not coming back down. You want to help them, but they sap your warmth. You can't risk letting the cold in. You don't want to end up like them. You know your chances of survival are better on your own. You wander through the cold, with no compass in the dark, and you stop for a moment. You're lost. The ice has melted into an ocean and you float, wondering where the tide will take you next. Each wave could be the one to take you under for good. Just before I'm about to give into the current, I see a streak of light flash above my head, and then again. I turn around with misty eyes and I see something wonderful. The lighthouse of Flint is guiding me home. They've sent out the lifeboats and they're coming to get me. They refuse to let me drown. I would sometimes look back at my hometown and wonder, why did they build a roof when they wanted me to grow so tall? And then I realised that it wasn't a roof. It was a checkpoint. a marker of my potential, but something that I can always go back to, and a constant reminder of the place that I want to be. So I started to be the change that I wanted to see in the world, saying hello to the commuters in the morning, offering to pay for someone's shopping when their card gets declined, offering a cuppa to anyone who walks through the door, thanking the bus driver, giving your old clothes to people who need them, knocking on your door to tell you that you've left your car lights on. And in my own way, I was spreading my little hometown around the city, and eventually the world. And when people ask me, what defines you? What makes you who you are? I close my eyes as I wheel down the street with scrapes on my knees and £2 in my hand, and I see the sign with the rust in the corner. Home is where the heart is, and that's where my heart will stay.